we go. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Wowhead Weekly number 128, our second Wednesday show so far. Thank you guys so much for showing up on this weird day. Well, it's not a weird time, it's the same time. But before we get into today's show, which we have a lot to talk about, I would like to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead Site Manager Perculia.
Hey everyone, trying out our second Wowhead Weekly Wednesday. We have Kitsuki moderating a chat this week, and there is a giveaway going on for the new mount and pet bundle in chat, so follow her instructions to enter.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got the usual PTR, and we've got a lot of live news, even more so than usual. So yeah, let's start with the show, and hopefully my cat won't cause any trouble.
I hope he does, personally. I very much appreciate that type of entertainment, but I understand why you wouldn't want to. But like you said, there was a new PTR build this week, so we got some new models, including some new load screens. Check these out, guys. These are the new load screens for Argus. There are 5 total. I love that one that shows the Vindicar. Is that what that's called?
Yep. Like the purple one going towards the gold. That one's really cool. I think I like Mac Ari the best because the plant just looks really cool, and it's not totally fell, but you can tell something bad has happened there.
Something fellish happened here.
Yeah. So we've got the new loading screens. All super pretty. I would love that there were posters of the 7.3 artwork.
I know. Cool. We were just actually at Blizzard, Perk and I, recently, and they had a bunch of the stuff from Chronicles, like huge, and then like on the wall framed, and we were like, are you going to sell those? Because we would like to buy them. Could you please sell them? On top of the new loading screens, we also got this model for young Sargeras, which is just a weird and interesting thing to see. It is right. We have a lot of models today. I'm sorry if I'm a little slow in between. He looks like a Titan.
Yeah,
he looks like a god.
He looks like his original self, but kind of angry as a Titan, like he got corrupted in some way. His shoulders are super cool. I wonder if we'll be able to transmog to them at some point with the whole trend of, transmogging to what.
He looks somewhere in between, like an Egyptian, like pharaoh, and like one of the big dudes from Ulduar. He's awesome. He's awesome.
He looks very cool.
Yeah, it's weird because we've always seen him in this sort of like evil, menacing, bad look, and to see him in his full like kind of Titan glory, he still doesn't look quite evil. He looks annoyed and stubborn or something, but he doesn't really look evil, and it's just so strange to see him. I mean, he doesn't have the horns, and I can't wait for 7.3. We're going to get so much interesting insight into these characters. We also have some new models for Lightforged Draenei. This is the female, and then there's also a male. And this was something I saw a lot of people saying on Twitter, is that the females have a bunch of new horn models.
Yeah, and they also have glowing eyes, and they have different... Hello, cat. They have different tattoo options, and I think even their underwear in some models are different. So more customizable Draenei would be very cool to have at some point.
And it's like, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't add the horns and stuff like that, because that's just a barbershop thing, isn't it? You can change those at any time.
That makes sense to me.
So I hope that is something that they add, because we'll talk about this a little more in detail later, but they did talk about still wanting to redo the Worgen and Goblin models. And when we had interviewed, it was Chris Robinson and... I can't remember.
You've interviewed so many people.
I can think of his face. I just can't place his name off the top of my head, which is going to drive me crazy because I do know his name.
I know.
Anyways, we interviewed them at BlizzCon this year, and we specifically asked about more customization, and they were very receptive. They said there was a lot of stuff going on in the background that we didn't know about. I specifically brought up things like hair color because I understand the idea of like, oh, well, we want them to be kind of true to their lore and true to who they would be out in the natural habitats. But that being said, they're very aware that people want more customization, and it's not necessarily a front and center priority, but it does seem like something that's, marinating on the back burner.
Getting this mixed up, but I thought they were also talking about like having to do something special to get extra customization. Maybe that was about
they were
not the customization. Like, you wouldn't just get a barbershop. Like, you'd have to do something. And
to
me, it'd be really perfect if, like, you did Army of the Light stuff and then you got these extra options.
Yeah, they specifically had talked about the fell fire for warlocks, and when we were talking about that, they said we really liked how you could customize the look of that spell by doing something lore related. So if you were talking about like more tattoos or any tattoos for that matter, like maybe there would be some sort of quest line where you had to earn those markings, or earn, you know, the different appearances of the horns from the light forged stuff. So I don't know, I'm very interested in that, and I'm glad to see that there's actually, you know, we're starting to see it implemented, even though it's not in our playable characters. I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. So that was all exciting. I would love if, like, Exalt with Army of the Light for Draenei gave you more.
Yeah,
cool,
everybody would.
Stuff.
Everybody would. Yeah. If you could, you know, have, even if it was just, say, like a toy that turned you into like the model of the Army of the Light, or gave you like yellow eyes, or I don't know.
Yeah. That would be very cool.
I'm always down for that kind of stuff. Now, the next section, we're not actually going to show videos. I am going to put a spoiler tag up so that you don't hear anything that you don't want to hear. But we talked about it. We decided not to put the videos in the stream. And the reason for that is that you guys know I really like to watch them in game. I try hard not to like be jaded. So I haven't seen them yet. So I don't want to watch them. So we're not going to watch them here. We can give you links for all of them if you do want to watch them yourself. But that being said, I'm going to put a spoiler tag up now, and we do have a few images. I don't think the images will be too spoilery if you just want to mute until this section is over. We're just going to be showing like a young Kil'jaeden, a young Archimonde, and a young Valen. But other than that, there's nothing spoilery for you to see. So spoiler tag is going up in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler tag. Take it away, Perk.
Right, so as you've been questing through Argus, if you've been watching Wowhead coverage, you've noticed that there are these like fade to black areas, and they're getting filled in now. So we have several major cutscenes related to Draenei lore, and then we have some related to the Titans.
Yeah.
So the first cutscene we're going to talk about is the Triumvirate's decision, and it's when Sargeras is going to Archimonde and Kil'jaeden and Velen and saying he'll give them unlimited power if they join his cause. And yeah, we get to see like baby Kil'jaeden looking like a happy paladin and not Fel, and like baby Archimonde is a mate, and it's kind of touching. And Velen is, you know, remembering this and reminiscing that it's like just was really sad and they were blinded by their power.
Yeah.
We also get to see young Sargeras in his model, and he's very Fel. My cat is sitting on my keyboard. Come on, cat. Hopefully you guys can still hear and see me talking.
We can hear you fine. I've got the playlist of the Draenei models showing right now.
Cool. Yeah. Then another flashback is the when Velen actually escapes from Argus. And in this cutscene, it's, you know, we already know that he escaped from Argus. Like, that's how the Draenei got their name. You know, they fled from the Eridar. And in this cutscene, we can see that Talgath, who we previously have fought and interacted with before, betrayed Velen, and Kil'jaeden is really upset because Kil'jaeden viewed Velen as his like brother and best friend. And we've learned that some of the one of the Eridari meet in patch 7.3. My cat loves the screen.
Yeah.
One of the
When you're done, you should definitely check if he changed your output, because you're in about 4 pixels right now. But continue to talk. It's not a big deal. We'll check. You can check after.
Okay, so in the Escape from Argus flashback, we see Velen dramatically escaping with the help of the Naru, and then his friends stay behind to distract Kil'jaeden. And we get to see young Kil'jaeden and young Archimonde looking even more Fel than they have before. Now, there are also 3 lore cutscenes related to the Titans. This might be a little more surprising with the lore, because, you know, we obviously already knew about the Draenei. But, so we've learned that Sargeras has raised Agrimar up and has tasked him with uniting the other spirits of the other remaining Titans. So throughout these cutscenes, like, your character tries to take Agrimar on, and he's like 100 times your size to show like he's very strong and you're very week. We've also seen Agrimar's like, what is your bidding, master? And Sargeras is like, the circle nears completion. The mortals must not disrupt the rebirth, which is what Il'gynoth said, which is, your coming was foretold in the rings. The long circle is nearly complete. And then we see the Titan spirits entrapped by some of the bosses we will fight in Antorus. And Sargeras is like, the hour of rebirth draws near, the soul's prepared. And Agrimar is like, our kin still resist the true path, master. They will soon be broken. And then we learn that Eonar has resisted being captured. She has her own sanctuary, and she's asking us for her assistance because if she is captured, then Sargeras can proceed with his master plan, and everything will be horrible. So these cutscenes are all interspersed as you quest through Argus, and they're not cinematic, so they look pretty epic, but they're still using in-game models and animations. They're not, fully amped up. Things like that's why they're the in-game cutscenes versus cinematics. Mm-hmm. But I still think they're pretty cool if that means we're getting, 5, 6, 7 of these in addition to cinematics.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So are we, that's, okay, we're good. We're good. I can turn, you fixed your camera, by the way. You're in good shape.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm going to take this spoiler tag off, and let me take it off of images as well. Yeah. There we go. So moving on from there, if you guys would like to see any of those cutscenes here, let me give you some links. Here is the link to the Triumvirate cutscene. Here is a link to the Valen cutscene. And finally, we have a link to the Titan cutscene. Those are them. There you go. All right, so moving on, Reputation 7.3 is lit, fam. It really is. Thank you so much for subscribing, truly.
Thank you.
Reputation is amazing in 7.3. I feel like it's a real throwback to like Burning Crusade. We're getting mounts, we're getting toys, we are getting stuff. Oh, I just censored myself really well. We are getting stuff for doing things, which I really appreciate. So, of course, we know about the Army of Light Reputation, that we'll be getting the holy themed mounts, which I'll show you in a minute, including the Elix as well as the light forged warframe. But there are also some toys as well as the Boon of the Lightbringer shoulder enchants, which will help you gather more of the new Argus profession items. And there's also a new permanent augment rune. This is very similar to what we got in the End of Warlords of Draenor from the Tunan jungle. And I know personally, like my raid group, we don't even use runes because they're so expensive and they're just not worth using. But we will definitely all be getting that permanent augment rune, so I'm really looking forward to it. The mounts that we were talking about are, hold on, this is the light forged warframe. This is a GIF, that's why it looks kind of pixelated.
Yeah, but it's so cool.
It's so cool. This is an amazing mount. Thank you so much for that subscription. This is an absolutely amazing mount, and as of right now, it's going for, you have to be exalted with the Army of Light, and then it's 500,000 gold.
I know. That's pretty
I don't know if that's a placeholder amount of gold or not. It's at that amount where it could be the amount. I can't tell. And then on top of that, once you reach Revered, you'll also be able to purchase these, where are they? Holy mounts, there they are. These Elix mounts.
No, not Revered. They're the Paragons.
Oh, so, these are for Paragons. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Which is kind of cool. If so far there's 3 from Paragon, so that's cool. Like, it makes you want to keep doing the Paragon.
Absolutely. I love the crystals coming out of their shoulders from the, the top side like that. It makes them look like they're just like radiating holy energy. I really like them. I've always liked Elix mounts. Anyways, you guys know I love elephants. They're like my favorite animal. So I will definitely.
It's actually really cool for the Horde too, because Elix are usually like an alliance mount.
An alliance mount, yeah.
Hordes, it was only, the trading post one was only for the alliance, so.
Yeah, and I got really excited in Warlords of Mist of Pandaria. There was the, is it the Calaxy reputation that gives you the tigers? Yeah, like I farmed those out because as a Horde person, I don't get, there's Shadow, that makes sense. They're Shadow Panthers. Yeah, I farmed all of those out because they're, alliance only mounts usually to get the cat mounts, so I'm really excited about the Elix. Then there's also the Argusian Reach, which this is where Revered Revered comes in. Some of the tile books can be purchased at Revered, whereas there's one that's like special that can be purchased at Exalted. There's also a new toy, several battle pets, as well as a mining pick and an upgraded Flight Master's whistle. The tile book mounts are amazing though, and again, Burning Crusade people love this. That's a clickbait title.
I know.
Burning Crusade players love these. They do though. I mean, they do. As somebody who played in Burning Crusade and spent a lot of time trying to get those tile books, yeah, they're awesome, and I love all the little doodads. I love the saddles, and I don't know. I like that one right there that's on screen right now, the purple one. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
There's some we don't know where they're from yet, and we think they could be from Paragon as well.
Yes. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing. I feel like a long time ago I was doing really good at not saying thank you, and then I've been streaming lately, and that's like part of streaming is you flip out and say thank you. So now I'm like trying to rein it in again. I'm sorry, viewers on YouTube who are like, I don't care. I care. Thank you. On top of that, you'll be getting, not on top of that, but as far as the reputation for the Army of Light and the Argusian Reach, you'll be getting reputation through story quests, world quests, repeatable rares that you can kill, invasion quests. There's lots of ways to get reputation, and you will be spending a lot of time on Argus in patch 7.3, so definitely look forward to the rewards because they're good ones.
Yeah, there's also a few catch-up items related to reputation. One is the Demon Soulstone, which gives you 1,000 reputation with all factions, so it's great if you're 110 and it's BOA.
Yeah.
And then this is an interesting one that's gotten a lot of attention. It's called the Nathrazim Tome of Manipulation, and you get increased reputation with Broken Isles factions by 200% for 2 hours and can't be used above 109. So I think that this is Blizzard, like, you know how they always like increase the boosted level? I think that if you have to use a character, you can't use this, but if you are questing along the way, they still want it to be easier, so this is for the people that are leveling and not doing boosts.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that was called the Nazrithium tome?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been saying Burning Crusade, Burning Crusade, Burning Crusade all podcast, and one of my like strongest memories from Burning Crusade is killing Prince at the end of Kara and winning the Nazrithium Mind Blade. That was like, I don't think there's any other weapon that is like so ingrained in my mind because I remember wanting it, and we killed him like 10 times before I got it. So even just hearing that gives me a little bit of hype. Thank you for that subscription, guys. I'm gonna flip it over to you so you can talk about the Netherlight Crucible.
My favorite topic.
Your favorite topic, because I can't even begin to start to describe this. I'm like, it does things and stuff. That's not helpful for anybody. So here you go. Take it away, Perk.
All right, so we had a Q&A that covered a lot of topics, including the Crucible, and there was still confusion, so they tried to clarify it some more. I thought the messaging was a little confusing, but basically, this is how the Crucible is meant to work. There are 3 rows of different traits you get or can choose between, and they're all pretty much RNG. The first tier of Crucible traits increases the item level of your artifact. That's the only option in the tier. You can upgrade it to a maximum of 15 because there's just one option per relic. And you automatically have that when you unlock the Crucible. There's no like artifact trait requirement. It's just you get to the Crucible, you can hit that button, get your item levels. The second row of the Crucible unlocks at artifact level 60 for the second row on like your leftmost relic, 63 for the second, and then 66 for the right. And you have a choice of randomly generated light and shadow abilities. There are no ranks to these abilities. You just click on one. And then you have the ability. And then the third row unlocks at artifact level 69 again for the left one, 72 for the middle relic, and 75 for the right relic. And this third row gives you the option of increasing the rank of 3 of your minor relic traits. Not relic traits, 3 of your minor traits. And you have to pick one of the minor traits that connects to the UI of the second row. So like you can't pick like a second row trait over here and then like a third row trait over there. They have to be like close by. And the traits you will choose between in the third row will not be the same as the original trait on your relic. So you can't have like a super, like rank 10 artifact trait. And this is what people are concerned about. The second and third row options are randomly chosen at the time of socketing or previewing your relic. So you can't be like, oh, if I always have the relic from Kil'jaeden, like I know my second and third row will have these options. It's totally RNG. So people are concerned that will lead to a lot of, you know, that will just lead to a lot of issues and like kind of reforged style min-maxing and worrying about things they don't want to worry about, or unsure if something is an actual upgrade, if it's like an item level upgrade, but it modifies the wrong trait and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, it's still kind of a confusing system, especially because it was introduced before there were any like actual explanations. This was like, go do this.
My favorite thing is like Perk is my go-to person for any, like I use her so bad as a friend. I'll just be like, Perk, I don't know how to do this in WoW. What do I do? What do I do? And she's like, could you just look it up on Wowhead? And I'm like, you are Wowhead. And so like when she was talking about the Netherlight Crucible and finished that with, I don't know, it makes my brain hurt. I was like, there's no hope for any of us. We are all just Pepe'd. Like, I don't know what to do, because if Perk doesn't get it, I don't get it. Like, there's just nothing else. But it seems like it is coming along, and they're making little changes here and there and explaining things more and more, and we're getting closer and closer to understanding it in its entirety. I think it's going to be one of those things, even like artifact power. I feel like when you were explaining a long time ago how artifact power scaled and how as you got more artifact knowledge, I feel like everybody was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then once it was actually in practice, it was easier. So I'm hoping that when the Netherlight Crucible comes out, that it will be a little easier to understand.
There were just so many bugs at first, and I kind of feel the Blue Post took a cop-out because they're like, oh, based on data mining, things were confusing. And I'm like, no, like, based on the actual UI being, like, very broken, it was confusing. like last build on the PTR, you needed concordance to use tier 1. Yeah. And it's like, well, how was I meant to know that that was a bug when, like, there wasn't an explanation? Like, you could not you could not make a pre-made and test the Crucible on the PTR because pre-mades don't come with concordance, and the Crucible was just, like, grayed out and not working for you. So there were a lot of strange bugs on the PTR that were preventing people from researching the system, but I am concerned how the RNG is going to turn out on all this. I know a lot of people are kind of worried about that.
So just to address the stream, you guys are saying you can only hear out of the left ear right now. I'm not really sure what I can do to fix that. I've never heard that happen before, but is it both of us or is it just one of us? That would be a helpful answer to that question. Is it me just out of the left ear, or is it Perk just out of the left ear, or is it both? Perk, talk.
Hello. My cat just jumped up on my lap.
Only I am out of the left ear?
That's strange.
Hold on. Let me try. How's that? Is that better? Did I fix it? Do you hear me out of both ears, Perk?
Yeah, you sound fine. Okay. I'm just like chatting away about the Crucible.
Okay. So. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? I had myself muted and I unmuted, so it must have just been a bug. Thank you guys for... Wait, I'm getting yeses and nos. That's very confusing to me. And then somebody, apparently they heard Bright Paw meow a little.
He just knocked my pencils over.
Oh, perfect. All right, give me just a second. Let me see if I can fix it. Okay, I'm gonna unplug and plug back in. Give me like 2 seconds.
That's always a good technique.
And we'll go here.
All right.
And how's that, guys? Is that better? Please say yes. please say yes. I mean, don't lie to me. That worked? Unplug it and plug it back in for the win.
Yay.
For the win. Okay, that is all taken care of. Thank you guys for bearing with us, and we appreciate the feedback. That's always very helpful. Wait, have we covered Catchup gear? Because I'm excited about this.
No, that's our next topic.
So in 7.3, we have Argus coming, and this is a patch where we're going to be getting a whole lot of Catchup gear for our alts, or if our mains have fallen behind. There are eye level 9-10 tokens from that Mirage. The
ethereal dude who...
The guy.
Tokens.
The guy who looks like isn't his name like Slim Marshall or something outside of
Granitombs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Now this is the equivalent of the Nether Shard vendor now, right?
Yeah, so like it's the actual Nether Shard vendor who is like, I'm gonna pack up shop and just head to head to Argus.
He's going to Argus, boys. He's going to Argus. And what's really nice is that now you will be able to purchase specific relic types with nether shards, which is a huge complaint for people who are using nether shards right now. Also, rather than getting a 80 gear, you're going to get 910 gear. The tokens will cost you Veiled Argunite, which is basically just the Argus 7.3 version of nether shards. You'll get it from World Quest, Rares, and Weekly Quests. And if you are a little confused by this, they were previously called confiscated, like pieces of gear in the data before it. Now they're called relinquished. So I think that's it. I'm excited though, for sure. I've been leveling. I don't know. I have my Demon Hunter is like doing a ton of PvP lately. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You would be proud of me too, because I know you play. You play a Demon Hunter. I play a Demon Hunter. Yeah. I don't. My main is a shaman, but I like consistently do well in PvP. I mess people up.
It's a lot of fun.
They're so satisfying to play in PvP. You just don't die. You just hit a lot of people, and then you just hop away. It's amazing. I love them. So, yeah. Also, we've touched on this a couple times in other topics, but there was a 7.3 Q&A this week with Ian Hazakostas and our host, Lore, our lovely co-host, Lore. He's not, but that almost came out. Yeah, and it was interesting to hear the things they had to say. We actually listened to that on my stream while we were playing WoW. But the 7.3 content will be staggered, so you're going to get new chapters each week, with invasions on week 2 and the Crucible and Dungeon on week 3. So this is very similar to what we saw in 7.2 as well. They did that on the Broken Shore. It was like 12 weeks long.
I think it's good that they listened to feedback, because we thought it was not much of a climax when the dungeon was open in 7.2 automatically. Yeah. And I mean, like, getting a dungeon mid-patch is a huge, mid-expansion is a huge deal. So it's cool that they have this big story building up to the dungeon.
Yeah, with cutscenes and stuff, because those cutscenes where you see the triumvirate, that is why, because it's called the Seat of Triumvirate. So that's really exciting. We also found out that many of the unlocks on Argus will be account-wide, including the dungeon. There was a bunch of stuff, though, where they talked about like, one of the exact quotes was Ian said, you know, things are really fun and epic, but they're not fun and epic the 4th time you do them. So they are admitting that, and so in that case, a lot of your unlocks are going to be account-wide, so you'll be able to do it on your alts as well. That includes the dungeon, the Netherlight Crucible, world quests, at least those things, maybe more. And again, they did mention the Goblin and Morgan revamp still being on their radar. God, I hope that's in the next expansion. People would be so excited. So excited. I'm always down for any recustomization things, though, because I feel like WoW is very far behind in that compared to other MMOs. And I'm not trying to start a discussion on comparing WoW to other MMOs, but like, why can't my hair be pink? There's nothing stopping me in real life. We have magic. We have magic, and we don't have pink hair dye in Azeroth. I have a real problem with this. Ooh, I'm excited about this, too. So, Wowhead, how long has Wowhead been doing this piece?
The Today in WoW thing?
The This Week in WoW, yeah.
Oh, so we started up pretty much the 2nd week of the expansion, when we thought people would, we noticed there was a bunch of stuff each Tuesday, so we started it up each Tuesday, and we've refined it as time has gone along. Yeah, but it's our like 8 a.m. thing.
Yeah, so Wowhead has been doing a thing every Tuesday where they do an article that's what you can do in WoW this week. So if there's any holidays, if there's any world bosses, stuff like that. And then this week I actually started making a companion video for it. So I'm going to show that now so that you guys know what's going on this week in WoW. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about those things. So it's a quick video. It's only about 2 minutes. And here it is. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into Trade Chat. My name is Panzer, and today we're going to be going over everything to do in WoW for the week of August 8th, 2017. So for those of you guys who are interested in the new Darkmoon dirigible Zeppelin mount coming in patch 7.3, play all the games to start saving your prize tickets now. Don't forget that patch 7.25 added the new concert event that happens every hour on the half hour, where you can fight the Death Metal Knight and earn rewards like the new Daddy style cage helmet and the guitar transmog. This week marks the opening of the final wing of Tomb of Sargeras on LFR difficulty. Players can fight Kil'jaeden for $8.95 plus loot. Don't forget to purchase your seals first, and also keep in mind that the Nether Disruptor is coming soon with the Seal Your Fate quest for extra bonus rolls. The world boss this week is Kalamir, so you can expect 860 plus loot as well as 1,000 order hall resources from the world quest. Kalamir is part of the Unleashed Monstrosity achievement. This week, the Mythic Plus affixes are Bolstering, skittish, and fortified. The weekly rewards include a chest based on the highest key level that you completed, as well as artifact power. The archaeology quest this week starts out with fell fragments and will eventually reward players with artifact power. Completing 8 archaeology quests rewards an artifact tint from the achievement This Side Up. Players will enjoy 50% additional honor in Battlegrounds this week thanks to the Battlegrounds bonus event. Now keep in mind that honor is basically PvP experience now. You don't actually purchase gear with honor. Gear is purchased with Echoes of Battle or Echoes of Determination, and other PvP items are purchased with Marks of Honor. If you win 4 BGs during the Battleground bonus event, you will be rewarded with Artifact Power, Honor, and 5 Marks of Honor. The PvP brawl this week is Gravity Lap's Eye of the Storm, which is basically just Eye of the Storm, only every 60 seconds players are shot up into the air wildly. You'll receive a quest for this that will ask you to do 3 brawls, and once you do them, you'll receive artifact power. The quest will pop up automatically in the battleground or can be accepted manually through the adventure guide. And those are all the special events this week in World of Warcraft. Now for me, I have been doing a ton of PvP lately on my Demon Hunter, so I'm definitely going to be doing the Battleground bonus event as well as the PvP brawl, but I would love to know what you guys plan on doing. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please thumb it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you very soon, but in the meantime, have a wonderful day and a wonderful week and all of those things. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. 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 All right, so I'm sorry for that hiccup, guys. I don't know what the heck happened there for a second. Yeah. The whole thing froze for like 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden it like went in super fast motion, and then it was fine. I don't know, but yes, there's quite a bit going on this week, and this is like, I would consider this a slow week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean the Battleground event isn't as popular as something like Time Walking, but the Gravity Laps and LFR wings they're pretty big. I think especially LFR because it's Kil'jaeden, and he drops really cool loot like the Spectre of Betrayal, and his is generally the best. So yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I think it'll be really fun to see how the video does when it's like a super busy, you know,
like a holiday week.
Sometimes walking, New World Boss holiday week.
Yeah, like it would be amazing if it was a week, because sometimes there's a micro holiday and like holidays will overlap, and like there's all sorts of stuff that goes on, and it was sort of like I don't know, there's lots of things on the internet that tell you what already happened. There's very little that tells you what you could be doing and what's currently happening. So we briefly touched on Kil'jaeden being in LFR now, and that has changed a lot of things. So if you noticed, if you follow the World of Warcraft YouTube channel, they uploaded the Kil'jaeden end cinematic, so we're going to be watching that here. I will put a spoiler tag up for you if you haven't done it yet and you don't want to see it yet, but we will be watching it and talking about it here, so here that goes. Give me just, there we go.
Our fates are now one. Argus will be your tomb. At least we will have died fighting. Our war isn't over yet. Not while we hold the key to all worlds. Catchup, take us home! I was always envious of you. Your gift, your faith, your vision. I never believed that Sargeras could be stopped. Perhaps you will prove me wrong. Everyone, get ready! Is everyone all right? What have you done? Sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts about this. How about you? Oh, you're muted. Perk is muted.
It's this guy.
Oh,
he's doing that.
He's you have a little troll for a cat is what you have. He just trolls you so hard. So I think that is one of the okay, so I understand why Khadgar's mad. Like, I get it. I get why he's mad. But then in the same sense, what did he think was gonna happen?
Yeah, like Illidan is...
Illidan.
Cat, you're on my sound. Cat. Cat. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I need to throw like a treat or a Pepe. Sorry, not a Pepe, but something that will attack.
This is where she's gone. She's now sacrificing Pepes to Brightpaw. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what anybody could have expected out of Illidan. We know he's revenge bent. We also know that he has sacrificed literally everything. He was in jail for 10,000 years, and he has an opportunity here to take down who his life mission, his 10,000-year life mission is. Like, did you not think he was gonna...
Yeah, he is super... Like, he's been super erratic before. Like, he disobeys orders. Like, we learned that in his quest series, you know, like Ravencrest Legacy, like, and he was sacrificing his mages to fuel his magic to, you know, win battles. Like, he's in prison for disobeying orders. He's played both sides. That's why his lore is so confusing. Like, we thought he was evil. We killed him in Black Temple at one point. And I don't know. I would not really have promoted him to, like, lead guy in charge of everything.
I don't know what they thought, but that being said, I don't necessarily know that he's wrong. Like, I don't know that his, you know, nip it at the bud, like, take out the source of it is... I feel like in his mind, if they don't do something while they have this opportunity right now, then they may not have the opportunity again, and then they're just going to spend eternity being occasionally screwed up by the Legion.
Maya kind of, like, disappeared and didn't really have much to say. Like, we data mined her having some voiceover lines, but based on how critical she's been of Illidan and, like, working with him but thinking his methods are a disaster, I'm surprised she didn't have anything to say in this cinematic.
Yeah, we were waiting for an angry Maya cinematic. We were talking about that before.
Also, like, the whole Velen and Kil'jaeden thing, like, I know people had vibes when they first saw this of, like, oh, like, you know, like, I'm kind of sensing this, like, bro friendship between them, and, like, it's so, like, I actually feel bad for Kil'jaeden, and I don't know, I'm kind of feeling, now that I actually see them looking all, like, happy and light-infused and everything in the flashbacks, I do kind of feel...
I don't know, I always tend to sympathize with villains, like, because I feel like the reality of any situation is that when somebody is perceived as a villain, like, somewhere in their mind they think they're doing something for the greater good. Like, I feel like rarely is somebody just evil for the sake of being evil. Not to say it doesn't happen, I just think it's rare. So when you see someone like Kil'jaeden, who, like, he sort of did what Grand Magistrix did, where she, you know, she was like, well, we can't beat him, so join him. Like, he was trying to protect, I mean, he gave up everything. I mean, he gave up his planet, he did, it was him. It's just bizarre, because it's like he joined the wrong team to try to protect people from the wrong team, I guess. Like, he just, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, we're learning in these flashbacks that, you know, the Eridar and Argus had a really nice life, and everyone was happy, and they all got along, and they were good friends, so, like, you can see how Kil'jaeden thought that perhaps Velen was being, like, cowardly in fleeing, and, like, his best friend was betraying him, because Velen never told anyone that he was disagreeing. He just decided that everyone was too far gone and he was going, so, you know, if
that's not a great way to handle things either.
Yeah, so he could be like, oh, like, you're just, like, escaping instead of actually caring about, you know, scary, big responsibilities, like...
No, I could totally see, like, regardless of anybody's intentions, like, I would think that the brave one in that situation was Kil'jaeden and not... Because it's not like Velen took a bunch of people with him. I mean, I know he took, like, right? Like, he didn't, it's not...
Well, he took some people.
He took some people, but, like, he left everybody else behind. Like, oh, you guys figure out your own stuff. You and old KJ just figure it out. Like, that doesn't seem very heroic to me. Like, I don't know. Again, like, I feel like he thought he did what he needed to do for the greater good, but I feel like Kil'jaeden thought he did that as well. And, you know, maybe more deaths came of it because of how Kil'jaeden handled it, but had Vaylin stayed and helped and tried to, like, rally his cause and, like, maybe... I don't know. I feel
maybe Vaylin was actually like, hey, like, if we saw in the flashbacks, like, Vaylin arguing with Kil'jaeden and trying, like, giving it a chance, but they seemed really set in swapping ways. And I'm sure that Sargeras using his magic to, like, corrupt and warp Kil'jaeden and Archimonde, like, just made things, well, it's an understatement to say it made things worse, but I'm sure, like, he like, twisted that disappointment into something very dark, evil and disturbing, like how Vaylin's son was turned into, a demon, and then Vaylin ended up killing him in that early 7.0 scenario.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I just feel like so much of the lore in World of Warcraft isn't cut and dry, and if you haven't learned that this expansion from Illidan's story, there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes from here, because the things that we've learned so far have all been really eye-opening, and I agree. Someone in chat said Vaylin never felt really heroic to me, and I kind of agree with that. Like, there have been moments where Vaylin has done heroic things, and he definitely does good things, but he reminds me of almost like a Pope-like character, where, like, he'll sit back and kind of criticize what other people are doing as wrong, but he's not, like, actively doing anything to help.
Right. Well, also in the story so far, he finally decided to join in the fray at the start of Legion, and then it was so traumatic when the, demon in the Exodar scenario was his son, that he's like, I'm retreating, I'm not helping again. And then finally in 7.2 he faced off against Kil'jaeden at the tomb, and so it's like, Vaylin's always kind of been in, like, a passive peacekeeper but behind the scenes role, and I can see if, like, you're so passionate about your convictions, you're like, well, like, I'm taking a stand, and this guy is just, like, piecing out and, like, not even bothering to explain things and being all shady.
Okay, what bothers me about the Vaylin son quest and him being like, I'm traumatized, I'm checking out, is how many people have died, how many other people have lost their sons, like, how many other people have lost their parents. Like, there are so many other people affected by this, and then all of a sudden this, like, great peacemaker is, like, no compassion whatsoever.
It's the
like, he's
of the escape, because in that cutscene, I don't know, I mean, do we need to spoil it?
I don't really think so. This is all current patch. This is all current.
No, but, like, in the cutscene, and, like, we know that Vaylin escaped Argus, but obviously his son was left behind, so that could be traumatic, thinking about your, like, planet being blown up and, like, your family separated and tortured and corrupted. So I can see why it brought up a lot of feelings, I guess.
No, I get that, and I'm not, like, discrediting the fact that he has feelings. I'm not saying that as in, like, oh, he doesn't have a right to have feelings, but, like, you'd think someone that was, like, so powerful, and he's, like, a priest, so you think of him as being holy and compassionate and, like, all these, like, good things. Like, he was very selfish in all of his thoughts and actions when all of this went down, and those are not the qualities of a hero. Vaylin is not a hero. Hashtag not my Vaylin.
I think he is. It's just we haven't seen him that much in games, so we haven't learned a lot about him, and that's why 7.3 is good, because we quest with him, we can actually, like, see his struggle and, like, actual feelings, as opposed to him just being very, like, aloof and not seeming to show emotion, or, like, shows way too much emotion at a few points. So I think 7.3 will be good for him and make him a more interesting character.
I agree. Since we were talking about 7.3, I put a spoiler tag up, but I just took it down, so we won't talk about that anymore. But yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel. Oh my god! And we didn't even show this yet. But so on top of all of that, once LFR came out with Kil'jaeden, now everybody sees the skybox with Argus in it, and there's, like, Doomsayers, and there's all this stuff. So let me show. I have a little. Oh, let me take that.
I love the Doomsayers. They crack me up so much.
All right, and everybody can see them, right? Oh god, right there. So yeah, this is a slideshow of the changes that have happened in Dalaran and around the world since Kil'jaeden is now part of LFR, and he is kind of available to all skill levels of players. You'll see Argus in the sky from friggin' really everywhere. I think the only place you don't see him is, like,
basically.
Yeah, I don't think you see it on you can't see it very well from the Broken Shore, and you also can't see it from Burning Crusade areas. But other than that, so what do you like specifically about these Doomsayers?
Okay, so this is the third time we've seen them, and you talk to them to collect a pamphlet, and they always have really ridiculous pamphlets. So we've got all these serious things going on, but they say pamphlets like, the true threat to Azeroth is the same as it always was, treants. The Kirin Tor has received reports of Master Magi selling portals to Outland as a way to escape the Legion. They are actually looking for money to pay off student loans, and their portals are highly unstable. So they're just really funny, and they always have like bizarre ideas, and yeah, they're just a lot of fun. And then of course all the citizens are like panicking, so that like Dalaran, I don't know, Dalaran doesn't seem like a fun place to live if all these, like, if they're always under attack and panicking, but all the NPCs are, like, running around being terrified as well.
Yep. I like that, though. I like that the world is, you know, dynamic and it changes with the story of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what's going on with the foreshadowing and the Doomsayers. And then also, this is all speculative, so I'm not going to consider this to be spoilers at all. But we got the key art this year for Warcraft at BlizzCon, and you'll never believe it. I'm looking. I have so many things here I like. Oh, I can move that up. Wow, that's great. BlizzCon, KJ video, key art. There it is. Key art. So this is the BlizzCon key art this year for Warcraft. And who dat? It's Jaina Proudmoore.
We haven't seen her in a while.
Mother effing Proudmoore. And, we haven't seen her in a while. We saw her after...
We saw her in one of the quests, hello cat, leading up to Legion, where she had a disagreement with how the Kirin Tor should be run and just stormed off. And then we haven't seen her in Legion since. So
she threw a temper tantrum. She left.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation that the reason that Jaina is in the key art is that the new expansion will have Jaina lore in it, which was already something that we kind of suspected because of there was some data mined gear that is likely going to be leveling gear for the next expansion. It had tentacles on it, and it was also called Kil'jaeden, which is an island that is...
Where that's from.
Yeah, it's related to the Proudmoores. The Proudmoores are all about that, so there's a lot of speculation that that's where she has been, that she will be returning from there, and she's going to be mad. A lot of people think she's going to be a villain. There's some theories that she's going to be a hero. We shall see. I can't imagine them actually making Jaina a villain. Like, I love the idea of such a, you know, kind of good character going bad, but I don't think she'll be a villain. I think she's going to come back and she's going to be all, like, zen. Like, she's going to be, like, stoned. Like, oh, I'm all about peace, man. I took some time to find myself, and this is why we need to come together. Either that or she's going to be, like, burn the Horde. Burn them all, Mad King style. Hard to tell with Jaina. Yeah. You never can tell.
My guess is that if she were to come back, I think that her trials were Mists of Pandaria, which was pretty traumatic. Like, her home was blown up.
Yes.
And, like, she was trying to be a peacemaker, and, like, she must have felt like she horribly failed because, you know, like, it did not work out.
They
like,
blew up there more, Yeah,
like, only her place was targeted, and it blew up. So, like, if anything, like, her way of handling things was the worst possible way, like, in her mind. And, like, there's a lot of PTSD, and, like, just... She was not in a good situation, and I think it would be cool if she just, you know, was doing some time in Kulturas and came back with, like, a more balanced mindset.
A more balanced mindset, like,
yeah, like, you know, like, I don't want to be a leader because, like, I've had some bad stuff happen to me, but, like, I've learned some stuff about, like, the old gods or the Naga, and, like, I have this Navy unit, and I have experience, so, like, you need to listen to me. Like, I still don't see her doing stuff with the Horde, really, but I see her being, like, I'm focusing on the bigger issue, which is not the Horde, it's, like, a scary tentacle monster trying to, like, destroy everything.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. I also feel like I think Blizzard likes to pull fast ones on us, and I feel like it would be very obvious for Jaina to come back and be a villain. I'm gonna sneeze.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I feel like it would be too obvious. I would like to see her be in a different role. Also, excuse me. We've been talking about 7.3 this whole time, and while we do not know when 7.3 is coming, we do know that Legion Season 4 is ending soon. We don't know how soon. It's like a soon TM situation, but we did get an end-of-season warning from Blizzard, and keep in mind that Legion Season 5 will have more ranks of Prestige, and that next season you'll be able to buy Season 3 and Season 4 transmog appearances with Marks of Honor. Also, the Vicious War Fox mounts will be available next patch. I'm really excited about this. This is why I started doing PvP, guys. Real talk.
Oh.
I started doing PvP because I need those mounts. These are the Fox mounts. The red one is Horde. The blue one is Alliance. You can't see it in this picture, but the red one actually has 2 different color eyes. It's got one orange eye and one blue eye, which I'm obsessed with. I think that the Alliance are real losers on this mount. The Horde one is just superior in every way. Haha.
Is the sound affecting anything? Because the cat is sort of cuddling the microphone wire.
Everything is totally fine. No, that mount that I got you for your microphone, oh, never mind. Well, now he's gone a little too ham.
I can get a toy and distract him. You want me to do that?
I can physically pick him up and move him away. But the Fox mounts are absolutely amazing. They will be obtainable for a Vicious War saddle in Season 5. A Vicious War saddle can be obtained for... Oh, I'm going to mute Perk. A Vicious War saddle can be obtained for winning 100 arenas, ranked arenas, or 40 rated battlegrounds. So I'm not sure which would be faster. So I'm doing both because I really want them out. I've been doing arena skirmishes, Perk. I've been doing arena, ranked, and skirmishes. I've been doing battlegrounds, rated battlegrounds. Like, that's all I do in my spare time is just PvP on my Demon Hunter and flip around like a mad person because I still don't really know what I'm doing. I just push buttons and then they die. It's so satisfying. Yeah. So I really, really need that. There's also a whole bunch of new PvP appearances. This is a slideshow. It's starting with, it might be out of order. Oh, no, it's not. It's just starting in the middle for whatever reason. So it's starting in the middle and it'll go around. But there are 3 different colors for PvP for each of the appearances. I believe one is for Horde, one is for Alliance, and then one is the better version.
So what I really like about these sets is that the Elite set is not fell green.
Yeah.
Like, the Alliance set is kind of blue and the Horde set's kind of red, but the Elite set is not green for a change. So, like, the Mage set is purple, and the Druid set is gold, and the Demon Hunter one is red, and I'm a fan of more variety in these PvP sets.
Absolutely. I really actually like these sets. I know that, like, there are... People have their opinions. People have their opinions about these different gear sets, but I really like them. I really like... most of them, to be honest. I really like, this is the Death Knight one that you see right here. I love the Death Knight appearances. I think they look awesome. But all in all, I like all of them. I like the Druid one a lot too with the bear and stuff. I don't know. The only one I really don't care for is the Rogue one.
Yeah, people have mixed thoughts on
strong feelings
with the feather and the tri-cornered hat and all that.
I really like the Hunter set with the fins on it too, because I like to mix and match transmog a lot, and you could mix and match those with the helmets from was that Cataclysm. Cataclysm had the Murloc helmets for Hunters. So I feel like you could put that Murloc helmet with... Yeah. So I really like those. The Monk ones look very monkey. There's no getting around that's a Monk set for sure. But the Paladin sets remind me of the Challenge Mode sets.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of... Well, I was going to say they reminded me of Worlds of Draenor because there was that data mined NPC that was wearing a mix of Urel's armor and then the Paladin armor, so it was reminding me of kind of an old school vibe. I guess all the Paladin sets kind of have this, like,
they do.
Epic, we are Paladins.
We are like, Paladins,
Yeah.
So the Elite Rogue set isn't as bad, but yeah, I don't know. I like all of them, and I'm excited to get the appearances for season, because I already bought Season 1 and Season 2 for my Marks of Honor, because it's only like 12 Marks of Honor or something like that. It's very...
Yeah, Marks of Honor are very easy to get.
Very affordable, very easy to get, and so I'm really excited that I'll be able to get the Season 3 and Season 4 appearances next patch. I don't know, I'm like all about my Demon Hunter lately. She's not my main, but it's also extremely difficult. If anybody in chat plays a Demon Hunter, you can back me up on this. It is so hard to switch from playing a Demon Hunter to any other class. Like, you're trying to double jump, you're trying to glide, you're like, why am I not flipping around like a crazy person? Like, you have so much mobility and you're so active as a Demon Hunter that, like, going to a Shaman, I feel slow, I feel laggy, I feel lethargic.
Oh, you're gonna switch to your Demon Hunter.
Maybe next patch I will. like it's weird because my raid actually has an influx of people who want to heal. Like, we're never looking for healers. Like, we have to specifically not recruit for healers because it's like everybody wants to heal. Like, when there's a healer out, there's like 25 people excited to use their off spec and heal. So maybe I'll have a good excuse to change to Demon Hunter next expansion. But yeah, I've been having an absolute blast doing that, and that's what's going on with Legion PvP. And then I'm gonna flip it over to Perk so she can talk a little bit about our Wowhead features, and then when we both come back, we will be answering your questions. So this is officially last call for questions. Direct them at Katsuki if you would like to ask us anything that could potentially be answered on stream. And take it away, Perk.
Yep. Also, last call for the giveaway, which Katsuki is handling as well for that new mount and pet. So we have a lot of community features on Wowhead, and we've been expanding them in the last week or so. So every Sunday we do a different community feature, and we have the Artist Corner Spotlight coming up on Sunday, and we think you guys will really like the artists we are featuring. Last Sunday, we had an article, Novels Monthly Lore Series, and we tried something different where Novel explained like the story leading up to patch 7.3. So if you watch the video, you won't be spoilered, but if you want to see what happens to the story in 7.3, then you can go to Wowhead and like read more under the spoiler tags. So we think it's interesting because if you don't want to be spoiled, but you want to just understand like what's up with important characters, or just like have a refresher on lore that may or may not be important, you should check out his video. And then if you really want to be spoiled, Wowhead has more information on those key figures. And yeah, it's a really awesome article. I had a lot of fun writing this because I do the Wowhead section of the article with the notes. We are giving away more mount and pets on Wowhead. We are giving 15 away, and Blizzard generously gave us the codes for 8 of them. And this should end on Thursday. It's just really simple. Just comment about what you like the most about the mount or the pet to get a chance at winning. And this was for US and EU. On Saturday, we launched our very first WoW Economy Weekly Wrap-Up. This is authored by Gumdrops EU, who's a really active member of the our Economy subreddit. He also works with Trade Skill Master. He's the lead moderator for the Economy Discord server. And he is writing a weekly series of sort of what's new with the WoW economy. Like, was there a really popular Reddit thread? Did someone do a cool video guide? Like, are there some, quick tips for beginner players? And yeah, I think it's really awesome because we have a lot of cool item and economy data on Wowhead, but we don't actually have news in this style. So I'm really excited we can have the Saturday morning wrap up so you can use the tips in the article to help you make more gold when you have more time to play on the weekend. We are still hiring on Wowhead. We are looking for a senior developer to specifically develop features and do site maintenance on Wowhead. And we are looking for a software engineer that could help out with Wowhead's, data mining PTR posts, but would also be involved in reverse engineering on other ZAM sites like Hearthhead and the LOL King League of Legends site. So if you think you're the right one for the job, you can send that information to jobs@zam.com or go to wowhead.com/jobs, and more information on the positions should be there. And that's about it. What I have for show notes.
It is.
Yeah.
So what do we got for questions this week, Perk?
All right. So is there any news on the life of Harrison Jones and Gammon coming up? No, this is not totally related to Harrison Jones, but there is a cool 7.3 kind of archaeology museum thing that we made a video of. So there's a potential, like, archaeology seems to keep evolving, but nothing on those two characters specifically. They don't really seem to be related to Argus quite so much. With the coding in-game for monks to have all one-handers sheathed on their backs, don't you think that Blizzard could implement the ability to other classes? So, like, I'm not a dev, but I think there might be some difficulties in like monks interact with their abilities, the unique abilities, in very specific ways, and I don't know how possible it would be to like take a monk animation with a certain like blackout kick, engineer a certain way to work on different classes. But something simple like having something sheathed on your back seems like it should work okay. But if it's like, oh, I wish my weapon could like move in a certain way like this crazy monk ability does, I think that might be harder to implement.
Yeah, I don't really think that's I mean, I'm not a game developer. That's not really a question for...
Yeah.
Like, solid answer, neither of us know. We're not, like, that's not our jobs.
Yeah, like, really simple things sometimes, like, simple things as a finished product can take forever to set up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very much, like, I mean, on that note, I would obviously be excited if we had looser transmog, like, regulations, but, I mean, I can't say would I think it's simple. I have no idea because I'm not a coder or a developer. That's not, I don't know.
Freemochu asks, will the cost for the mounts from reputations become cheaper with higher reputation, or will they remain the same cost? On the PTR currently, that really expensive mount is cheaper, but it's still a lot of gold. You'll be looking at like 400,000 gold instead of 500,000 gold.
Yeah, and again, those are all PTR, like that's all placeholder stuff for all we know. So again, like that's not anything. Even if we answer that, you can't take that as like a biblical statement because it could change. Everything is tentative and subject to change on the PTR.
Yeah. Stonebridge asks, what do you want to see for time walking besides dungeons and raids? So I feel I would love to see Icecrown Citadel as a time walking raid, especially with all the really cute and clever Icecrown Citadel promotion going on with Knights of the Frozen Throne and Hearthstone. I think that, I'm not sure if this is exactly time walking, but I would like to see the original versions of some zones make a return.
I would love for them to allow you to turn on scaling so that you could go back and do quests that were, you know, they're above your level or they're below your level, but you can do them at a meaningful level and it won't affect the people that are questing at the correct level. Which with time walking, we know they can do scaling. I just don't, again, not a developer, so I don't know the intricacies of all of that. But we did see that type of technology with the Azeroth invasions and even to an extent with Legion invasions. So
and the Holiday World bosses, like how anyone can do them together.
So I would like to see the dynamic scaling kind of everywhere, but as far as like a specific time walking dungeon or raid that I would like to see, it would probably be... Icecrown Citadel is one that I absolutely love. Anything that has like a mount out of it, I feel like that would be in my, if I were at Blizzard, that would be my high priority because those are going to be ones that people are going to want to do more because they're already farming them. You know what I mean? Like ZAZG type stuff I would like to see. Ulduar. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So, but I like the idea of scaling and time walking, so I'm not really opposed. Naxxramas is one I would really like to see.
Yeah.
Sorry, that came out of nowhere, but Naxxramas would be a good one.
Yeah, I think especially because, you know, it was in Classic WoW and then they brought it back because it was so popular, so...
Well, they could also bring it back as dungeons like they did with Kara. They could do 4 because there's, like, the 4 wings. Yeah. Like, they could bring that back as 4 dungeons. So, anytime that we make content that is considered to be sort of obsolete, like something that's worth going and doing, I think is a good thing. Anytime that... you know, we get to go back to the old world and have a good reason to do so, I think is a good thing for the game. And I think it's a good thing for the artists and developers who spent so much time working on that content. Like, it's gotta kind of suck to, like, you know, spend all this time on Ashenvale and then nobody goes to Ashenvale except when they're leveling. And even nowadays, it's pretty common for people to...
booster. Oh, my heirloom! I just
heirloom in like 15 minutes through a zone. Yeah, exactly. Like, I would really love if, with the additional experience you get from heirlooms, if the world scaled dynamically with you. It's like... So people criticize me a lot because I don't necessarily read all the quests when I level. But the reason, the honest to God reason that I don't is because rarely do you finish a zone anymore. Like, if you have heirloom gear on, you're just setting yourself up for either questing until it's gray and you're not getting any experience, or alternatively being left hanging and not knowing how that whole thing ties up and wraps up. So it feels almost like with the way that it is set up right now, it's not conducive to people playing the game and appreciating the story. So if we had dynamic scaling, which again, it could be an option that you turn on. I'm not suggesting they just spring this on people and force it on people, because I know there are people who like to run old stuff and just, you know, slam through it. But I feel like it would open up so many dungeons and so many raids and so many zones and so many quests, and how much more fun would Lore Master be, and how much more fun in general would questing be. Although I would also like to see almost every quest become repeatable with no rewards, so that if you missed a part of the story, you can actually go
like
back and do it. Yeah.
Or like, not even a cutscene, but like if you're doing an escort quest and the famous NPC is telling you important things, it would be nice to go back and just catch their dialogue options.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So those are my thoughts on that.
Yep. How likely do you guys think 7.3 at the end of the month will be by Lone Samurai? So I know there's that theory that because we've had 77 days between several patches, that if this one is 77 days, it's at the end of August. I think also besides that, they've been developing 7.3 really fast, and I think that the end of the month is likely because it's staggered, so they don't need to have everything ready by the very end of the month. But
I think
it seems like some stuff is pretty polished already. So I think we'll have like the stuff at the end of the month, like
I
September
think the
1st.
date will be announced at Gamescom.
Okay.
And then I know Blizzard is also going to be at PAX, so we'll it'll either be releasing around that time, or we'll get like a new cutscene, or maybe a patch trailer. Maybe a patch trailer will come out at Gamescom.
Or like more 7.3.5 details I could see.
Yeah, they have like, I know Blizzard has a big presence at both PAX West and Gamescom this year, so I think the patch will be coming out in between them or right after them or around there, because they have all this, they basically have this giant platform for hype, and it would be sort of strange if like they were like, okay, and then 2 weeks later it comes out. Like if I remember correctly, when they announced the mobile companion that was at PAX West last year, when they announced that, it was available immediately. So like I feel like we'll be getting it right around the time of those conventions, just because that's what they've been liking to do the last couple of years.
But keep in mind that even if we get like week 1 on September 1st, that means that the new dungeon and the Netherlight Crucible won't be around until like September 15th. And I foresee a lot of like hot fixing and changes going on behind the scenes to the Netherlight Crucible between now and the 15th. Like, I don't think work will just stop when the patch goes live, because that system needs some polishing.
Also, just to refer, a bunch of people in chat are saying they think we're getting a new expansion announcement at Gamescom. I 100% disagree, because there is so much hype around the patch that they're putting out right now. This is supposed to be a huge patch and all this content, and if the patch didn't come out before the expansion, it literally makes everybody not care about the patch at all. So I don't think we're going to get an expansion announcement until BlizzCon. I think releasing the Jaina key art was a kind of a sign of this, a hint at this. So I think that when we go to Gamescom, we're probably going to get a patch trailer, and then when we go to PAX West, we might get a date. Maybe it'll be coming out. I don't know, but I think, or maybe we'll get stuff about 7.3.5, but I do not think we're going to hear about an expansion until BlizzCon. Also, I think it would set a really kind of crappy precedent to be like, okay, we just announced expansions at Gamescom now. Like, always?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that a lot of people, and it has nothing to do with it being in Europe, I just think that a lot of people expect announcements like that to come out of BlizzCon, and that year at BlizzCon was like, oh, we already know this. And I feel like I'm not saying they'll never announce something at Gamescom again, but I think 2 years in a row would set a precedence, and I don't think they would want to do that. I don't think they want to tell people this is what we're doing from now on.
Also, with Gamescom, like, we had that huge stretch of content that we heard nothing about what was coming in WoW for a really long time, so I think it made sense to do it at Gamescom instead of waiting 3 months where we're all just like, oh my god, like, we're so tired of like,
so I think that Gamescom will be the announcement of when the patch is coming out, and then probably more details at PAX.
Yep, I agree with you. So I think that's about it with questions. We had a few that were we kind of answered as we were discussing stuff. And Yeah, that's about it on my end. Sorry, the cat was noisy a bit. Now he's sitting really nicely. He's kneading on his nice fleece blanket, perfectly well behaved.
This is the idea of a podcast. People are just feeling like they're hanging out with us and having a chit chat with us, and that means that there might be a cat involved. That just is how the dice are rolled around here. But I do want to take a moment to thank everybody who subscribed to us today. I did see a $24.99 subscriber, so thank you so much for that. We do have special emotes for our $10 and $25 subscribers, but thank you so much to all of our subscribers. Also, I'm going to use this moment to remind you guys, if you are supporting Wowhead on Twitch using your Amazon Prime account, you do have to manually resubscribe every month. It will not auto resubscribe you. So if you were someone who was subscribed to us via Amazon Prime and you would like to continue doing so, you gotta do it manually. But thank you so much to everybody who subscribed to us. Thank you so much to everybody. This is our second week on a Wednesday, and we're pulling the same number of viewers we were on Fridays, so this feels like a good move, and we really appreciate the support. Thanks for everybody watching us over on YouTube and taking the time out of your day to listen to us chit chat about WoW. We stream every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time here at twitch.tv/wowhead, and then the next day we upload the VOD to youtube.com/wowhead and embed it on Wowhead's homepage. And finally, before we wrap up the stream, I do want to thank all of our Wowhead Premium subscribers. For those of you who do not know, Wowhead Premium is a subscription service to Wowhead that's #1 perk is that it removes all of the ads off of desktop and mobile as long as you are signed in. It costs $1 a month or $9 for the entire year. It is very affordable. It can also be gifted to friends or guildies if that is something you would like to do. And soon we will be making it so that you will be able to turn in your Twitch chat nether shards for a month of Wowhead Premium. I just haven't set it up yet, but it is coming, I swear. But we do want to thank everybody who subscribes to Wowhead Premium. It directly supports our show. It also allows you guys to browse ad-free. You have a special color when you talk on the forums. You can track quests. There's all sorts of perks, but the biggest one, of course, is directly supporting content creators without having to use pesky ad block. So thank you guys so much. We will see you next Wednesday, and in the meantime, happy WoW playing, and we'll see you next week, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Yep. Bye.